Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd show you how I make my version of a ratatouille. And a ratatouille is aubergines and courgettes, onions, white or red, peppers, any colour, and garlic, which is your basic vegetable prep. And then in it you have tomatoes, tomato puree, and I'm going to flavour it with some smoked paprika, a bit of hot paprika or cayenne pepper, some thyme, some oregano, like my storage jar, some turmeric and some coriander, and then I'm going to flavour it with some yeast to give it that sort of just a bit of an extra edge. I like to put capers in mine as well because I like that flowery flavour. So a lot going on, but it's a good dish. This is a great dish for in the summer or the winter, just for making you feel more comforted and nourished. So let's get cracking. So the key thing about this dish is to cut everything roughly the same sort of size so it all cooks at the same time. So I like my ratatouille fairly chunky so I get some good flavours going on. Just going to use the smallest of teaspoons of oil just to warm that bottom of the pan. Once the oil's warmed up, add the onions. And while the onions are cooking, we can prepare the rest of the vegetables. So courgettes I just like to cut in half and in quarters, and then just do a nice even chunk. No rush about this, you can use whatever chunk you want, make it as fancy as you want. It's up to you, it's your food. Those onions are cooking. I'm going to put in the stalks from the basil. Basil's been in my fridge a bit, it's looking a bit ropey, but the flavour's still there. And then I can fish these stalks out. I could chop them up finely, but they do tend to be a little bit hard sometimes. Doesn't that look pretty? All those vegetables in the pan all cooking away nicely, nice and noisy. I like quite a nice soft ratatouille, so I'm going to let this cook down for a good 10 minutes and then we're going to start adding all the flavourings into it. So I'm adding a teaspoon of capers. Doesn't need many, they're so highly perfumed. You don't need tons of them. I'm going to put some black pepper in, because I find when you put black pepper in at different stages you get a better flavour. Ratatouille just makes my heart sing. It's just a wonderful dish. It just makes everything so, yes, right with the world. I've remembered I've got some fresh thyme, so I'm just going to stick some fresh thyme stalks in here as well, which I'll drag out at the end. Okay, so let's start building in some flavours, some deep flavours for this. So I'm going to put in a tablespoonful and a half of tomato puree. Might be closer to 2 tablespoons, but definitely a tablespoon and a half. This adds the richness. And then I like to add turmeric to everything, so a teaspoon of turmeric, just good for everything in your body. That was half a teaspoon of turmeric. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. 2 teaspoons of oregano. 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, brown coriander. 2 of paprika. 1 of cayenne pepper. and then mix that all in. By frying your spices and frying the tomato puree, it just takes everything to a new level. It warms them all up, brings them all back to life. Oh, and it's just so worth it for the smell alone. Food is all about the senses, people. You've got the beautiful colours, the amazing smells, the exercise of standing there and mixing something. I'm going to add 3 tablespoonfuls of red wine. You don't have to add red wine. I'm going to let that reduce down because yet again the smell. And we're in December at the moment, so it's all a bit sort of mulled winey and lovely. If you want to make this lighter and cook it in the summer, you can replace that red wine with white wine. Now that's cooked off, I'm now going to put in the same amount of balsamic vinegar. 3 tablespoonfuls of balsamic vinegar. And let that cook off as well. And then you need to add 2 tins of tomatoes. Chopped or crushed, it's entirely up to you. I've got crushed here. I like chopped in the summer because then you can see the tomatoes in it, and I don't tend to cook the summer one for quite so long as the winter one. Look at that. It's volcanic, doesn't it? Fantastic stuff. You can make this as wet with tomatoes or a little bit dry if you want to, however you like your food. It's all manipulative because it's your food. All important. Taste your food, people. See what's happening with it. Oh yeah, that's nice. Does need more garlic though, without a doubt. So I'm going to put in another tablespoon of garlic powder. You imagine dipping some beautiful crusty French stick into this. That'd be gorgeous, wouldn't it? And eating it like that. If I ate bread, that's what I'd be doing. I'm not too worried about missing the stalks. If you do, it's no big deal, is it really? They're all edible. And when it's been stewing, to whatever degree you want to take those vegetables, you can eat all those vegetables raw if you want, but I like in the winter the aubergines just to be a little bit more creamy. Then add some vegan yeast. That was 4 teaspoons there. You can add some mixed beans to this, or beans, your favourite bean if you want to make it a bit more nutritious again. It's all up to you, as I say. Everything's flexible. And if you don't like it, well, it's just a bit of food. You can always eat it and then make it into something you really love. Oh, that took it to a whole new level. That's really lovely. And also, if you're still eating sugar or you eat sugar, you might want to put in 2 tablespoonfuls of sugar or maple syrup or something on those lines just to sweeten those tomatoes slightly. But I don't eat sugar and I quite like that sourness that's in there. It's entirely up to you. As I say, add little at a time, keep tasting until you get to the level where you want it to be. Okay. Let's have a bowl of this for lunch. Put my basil on the top. Stick the rest of the basil in there. Wow. You could put vegan cheese on top if you want. Beans, anything. That looks yummy. Down the hatch. Yeah. That is tasty. That is so comforting today. That's exactly what I needed. Nice hit of tomato, slightly crunchy vegetables, creamy aubergines, and then a bit of basil on the top just makes that difference. That is really yummy. Well, yeah. I'm going to sit down in front of the TV and enjoy this because I'm home alone and I can. Now, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I certainly have. And I'll see you in my next one. Lots of love. Bye.